So, what happened to the Splatoon mid-season balance update patch? A lot of people were expecting it to launch this week, which is definitely understandable, as in the past we have actually seen it launch around this time. And any time last week would have really seemed like the perfect opportunity to do so. Every new tweet from Nintendo has been absolutely flooded with questions about where the patch is. So clearly everyone is very eager for it to happen. The mid-season balance patch, whilst it isn't too exciting in terms of new content updates, it's really impactful. It's one of the most important types of updates we can get in the game, which will determine how the meta is going to be going forward. And I think it's fair to say that people would rather see it sooner than later in case we get too close to the end of the season anyways. Well, one major reason it seems like is the fact that Nintendo is actually hosting some qualifying tournaments over in Japan at the moment. That would definitely seem to indicate why they would not release this patch last week, as it could interfere with how players are participating in this particular event. We've actually seen them not drop updates a few times in the past so they wouldn't interfere with particular tournaments and such, so that's the most likely reason I believe why they didn't decide to launch it then. It could also be the case that Nintendo is just taking more time with this particular balance patch, which might not necessarily be a bad thing. Hopefully they're putting even more thought into this than usual because, let's be honest, some of these balance updates have not made too much sense. As for when we will get the balance patch, I'm almost certain that it'll happen sometime next week unless some sort of big tournament is going on. Now, Nintendo does not release updates on weekends as far as I'm aware. That is something we have never really seen them do with Splatoon, so the 22nd and the 23rd would be ruled out, but any time from Monday the 24th onwards I think is very likely. They do usually say mid to late point of the season in terms of releasing these, so technically it's still accurate. But it would have been nice if we got it sometime last week too, especially given that last week did start with the 17th, which is definitely way into the midpoint of the month. What balance updates do you think we're going to see though? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Make sure to leave them down in the comments section below. If you made it to the end, be sure to comment Splat Gang so I know you did. If you enjoyed, leave a like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on notifications for more. I'm trying to hit 30k subscribers before the end of the year.